Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Have you had a nice week? Have you had a good time in school? I hope everything is okay. Okay, well, it's time for another English class. So, let's begin. All right. Now, what I would like you to do is open your pupils' books to page 41. Page 41. Página 41. Unit 4, Lesson 2, Grammar. Okay? So, open your books to the correct page. Abrimos los libros a la página 41. Okay, now, before we start with today's work, let's revise the vocabulary from the last class. Repasamos el vocabulario primero, de la última clase. Okay, so, not this. So we'll have a look here. Okay. So, let's revise. Okay, so, these things, what are they? Begins with P. They are?
Planets.
Very good. Now this thing, the ice that flies through space, it is called a
Comet.
comet. What planet was this? Do you remember? Mercury.
Mercury.
What planet is this? Do you remember?
Venus.
Venus. What planet is this?
Neptune.
Neptune. What planet is this?
Jupiter.
Jupiter. This thing that flies through space and crashes into the planet, it's called a meteorite.
Meteorite.
To travel in space, we use this. This is a
Rocket.
rocket. And this person here, you know this, he is an
Astronaut.
this thing here, this object in space is called
Satellite.
satellite. And this thing here, all these rocks, it's called
Asteroid belt.
asteroid belt. And then these things around the planet Saturn,
Rings.
rings. Okay. Do you remember all the words? ¿Puedes recordar todo? Okay, very good. Let's continue. Now, today we're going to be learning some grammar, so you have to pay attention, okay? Tenemos un poco de gramática para aprender hoy, entonces tenemos que mirar bien y intentar entender. Okay, so what I would like you to do first is open your notebooks now. Open your notebooks. Okay, abrimos las libretas y vamos a apuntar. Let's open the notebooks and let's write some notes. Okay, so in your notebook, I would like you to put the title Superlatives, just like this, Superlatives. And the date today is Thursday, 15th of January, 2021. Okay. Very good. Now, we're going to copy this into the notebook. Vamos a apuntar todo esto en la libreta. Okay. So today, we're going to learn about superlatives. What is a superlative? Well, let me explain. We have, in English, adjectives. Adjectivos. Tenemos adjectivos. For example, Hot, calor. Cold, frío. Big, grande. Small, pequeño. Close, cerca, close. And far, lejos. Okay? So, these are adjectives, right? We use these words to describe things. Estas palabras son para describir cosas. For example, the coffee is very hot. El café es muy caliente. The coffee is very hot. So these are adjectives. Now, we can take the adjectives and we can change them to make superlatives. To make a superlative, we write the, we put the adjective, and we put est on the end. Okay, para hacer superlativos ponemos the, escribimos el adjetivo y ponemos las letras est al final. Let's look at the example. So, if I have the adjective hot, the superlative is the hottest. Okay, so I put the and then hot with est. Okay, hottest. ¿Qué quiere decir the hottest? Hot quiere decir caliente. The hottest, el más caliente de todo. Okay, this is a superlative. Cuando es el más de algo. So, hot, caliente. The hottest, el más caliente. Okay. Cold, frío. The coldest, el más frío. Okay. Big, grande. The biggest, el más grande. Okay. Small, pequeño. The smallest, el más pequeño. Close, cerca. The closest, el más cerca. Far, lejos. The furthest, el más lejos. Okay, this is superlatives. Okay, copy all of this down in the notebook, please. Apuntamos todo esto en la libreta. Okay, and we have an example underneath. Tenemos un ejemplo con un superlativo, with a superlative. Okay, and you can copy the example. It says, an elephant is the biggest animal in the zoo. Un elefante es el más grande animal, es el animal más grande en el zoo. Okay, so these are superlatives. Okay, and we're going to learn these 6. Aprendemos hoy estos 6 superlativos. Okay. Have you copied everything in the notebook? Now, if you need time, you can stop the video while you copy. Si necesitas tiempo, puedes parar el video mientras que escribes. Okay. Finish copying? Very good. Let's go back to the pupils book. Volvemos al pupils book. Page 41. Now, okay, we have a conversation with Josh and Ravi about the planets. Let's listen and read and see if we can see some superlatives. Okay. Escuchamos la conversación, lo leemos y intentamos a buscar unos superlativos. Okay, we'll try and find some superlatives. Okay. So, are you ready? Let's listen and let's read. Okay.
This model of the solar system is great. Did you make it?
Yes, I did.
I made it with my dad. He told me a lot about the planets. Which planet is this? It's Jupiter. Jupiter is the biggest planet. Which planet is this? It's Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. Cool! Which is the hottest planet? Venus is the hottest planet. I know this planet. It's Earth. Earth is the best planet. Yes, because it's where we live.
Okay, very good. Did you listen? Did you read? Very good. Now let's have a look. Let's have a look at some superlatives. Vamos a mirar unos ejemplos de superlativos. Let's have a look at this phrase here. ¿Qué dice aquí? Dice, Jupiter, the planet Jupiter, is the biggest planet. The biggest planet. ¿Qué quiere decir? Tenemos el adjetivo big, grande, y aquí el superlativo, the biggest. Jupiter is the biggest planet. Jupiter es la planeta más grande, el más grande, the biggest. Let's have a look at some other examples. Let's look at here. Mercury, the planet Mercury, is the closest planet to the sun. Now we have the adjective close, el adjetivo close, que quiere decir cerca. Pues aquí el superlativo, the closest, el más cerca. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. Mercury es la planeta más cerca al Sol. Okay, let's look at another example. Have a look here. Dice, it's a question. Dice, which is the hottest planet? Tenemos adjetivo hot, caliente. Which is the hottest planet? ¿Cuál es la planeta más caliente? The hottest planet. And then he says, Venus is the hottest planet. Venus es la planeta más caliente. Okay? So, these are some examples of superlatives. Now, we do have this phrase here. It says, Earth is the best planet. The best is also a superlative. Quiere decir el mejor. The best, el mejor. Por ejemplo, Jules is the best teacher. Okay? Earth is the best planet. Okay, so these are superlatives. All right, now, if we look underneath, okay, we have some more examples, okay? So similar to what we've copied in our book, okay? Aquí es como podemos hacer unas frases, okay? Con superlativos. Aquí tenemos las planetas, la palabra is, y tenemos los superlativos diferentes, okay? So, we can make phrases, podemos hacer frases. Por ejemplo, Venus is the hottest planet. Okay? Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. Neptune is the furthest planet from the sun. Furthest quiere decir el más lejos. Right? The furthest planet from the sun. Okay? So, these are typical superlative sentences. Okay? Now, let's practice. Vamos a practicar. Let's go to the activity book. Vamos al activity book. Okay? And we're going to go to page 39. Página 39. Page 39. Okay, so that's Unit 4, Lesson 2, grammar. Okay. Now, we're going to do exercises 1 and 2, okay? And we're going to do them all together. Let's have a look at exercise 1. Now, we have 4 phrases, and we have to put the correct words in the phrase. Let's do this all together. Now, if you don't remember, you can always have a look in your book, in your pupil's book, okay? And you can have a look at the order of the words to make the phrase, okay? Si no sabes, puedes mirar en el pupil's book aquí y puedes ver el orden de las palabras para hacer una frase, okay? Very good, right. So let's practice. Number 1 says Uranus, the coldest, okay? ¿Qué palabras nos falta? What words do we need? Well, if we have a look here, right? Uranus, the second word is, and then we have superlative, and then the last word is planet. Okay, so we will say, writing here, Uranus is the coldest planet. Uranus is the coldest planet. Okay? The coldest, el más frío. Uranus is the coldest planet. Let's have a look here. Is hottest planet. Okay, well, first here, number 2, we need the name of a planet. Let's see, what word here is the name of a planet? This one here, Venus. So we're going to write Venus is, ¿qué palabra falta aquí? Para hacer superlativo, we need the word the. Venus is the hottest planet. Let's look at number 3. Jupiter is, y aquí nos falta the, como todos los superlativos, is the, and here we need our superlative verb. Here it is, the biggest. Jupiter is the biggest planet, el más grande, the biggest. Let's cross these. Okay. And number 4, Neptune is the furthest, más lejos, the furthest planet from the sun. Okay? So, all right, we have our 4 phrases. Number 1, Uranus is the coldest planet. Venus is the hottest planet. Jupiter is the biggest planet. Neptune is the furthest planet from the sun. Make sure you have all of this written correctly in your book. Okay? Mira bien si tienes todo bien escrito en el libro. Okay. All finished? Excellent. Okay. Excellent. Right. Let's go to exercise 2. Let's go exercise 2. Okay. Now, exercise 2, we have to make the phrases ourselves. Okay. Aquí tenemos que hacer las frases nosotros mismos, cogiendo el adjetivo y cambiarlo en superlativo. Okay. For example, number 1, okay, we use the adjective small. So we say Mercury is the smallest planet. Okay, es el más pequeño, the smallest planet. Okay. So let's make some phrases. Vamos a hacer unas frases. Okay, so now we have another 4 adjectives and we have 4 planets. So let's think. Number 2 is going to talk about Jupiter. Okay, so how do we make our phrase? Okay, remember, to make the phrase, it's just like this. Jupiter is, and then we choose the superlative and then planet. So let's write it. Jupiter is. Now, which adjective are we going to use? ¿Cuál adjetivo vamos a usar? Big, far, cold, or hot? Now, if you don't remember, Júpiter es la planeta más grande. Es el más grande. ¿Cómo se dice grande en inglés? Big. Ponemos en superlativo. The biggest. Jupiter is the biggest planet. Jupiter is the biggest planet. El más grande. Let's have a look at Neptune. Neptune. And we're going to, let's get rid of this. Okay, so Neptune. Now, if you don't remember Neptune, Neptune is the planet, es la planeta más lejos del Sol. Lejos, ¿cómo se dice? Far. What's the superlative? The furthest. So let's make the phrase. Neptune is the furthest planet, más lejos del Sol, from the Sun. Neptune is the furthest planet from the Sun. Write it in your books. And I'll cross this off. Okay, so we have 2 more. Cold, frío, and hot, calor. So, which planet is cold and which planet is hot? Let's have a look. All right, number 4. Let's do number 4. Venus. Now, if you don't remember Venus, Venus es el más caliente. Caliente, hot. Let's make the phrase. Venus is the hottest planet. Venus is the hottest planet. Okay? And that leaves 1 adjective, which is cold. Which is cold. Frío. And there's only 1 planet left, which is Uranus. Let's make the phrase. Uranus is the coldest planet. Okay? So, all right, we have our phrases. Number 2, Jupiter is the biggest planet. Number 3, Neptune is the furthest planet from the Sun. Venus is the hottest planet, and Uranus is the coldest planet. Okay? Make sure you have everything written correctly in your book. Mira bien si tienes todas las respuestas bien escrito en el libro. Okay. Very good. All finished? All right. Let's continue. Now, the last thing we're going to do today is we're going to make 2 questions, 2 preguntas, con superlativos. 2 questions with superlatives, right? So we have an example here. It says which cuál, okay? Which is the biggest planet? The biggest, el más grande. ¿Cuál es la planeta más grande? Which is the biggest planet? Okay? And we're going to make 2 more phrases. We're going to make 2 more questions. 2 questions more. So we're going to take 2 more adjectives. 2 more adjectives. Let's see. Let's take the adjectives. It says here, which is the biggest planet? El más grande. Let's find out the smallest planet. Okay. El más pequeño. ¿Cómo se pregunta? ¿Cuál es la planeta más pequeña? Lo apuntamos aquí. Let's write it down. So, similar to this question, which is el más pequeño, the smallest planet? Question mark. Which is the smallest planet? ¿Cuál es la planeta más pequeña? And we'll write one more question. Let's try the adjective hot. Caliente, hot. And we'll make the question. So, same question. Hacemos el mismo. Which is the hottest planet? Which is the hottest planet? Okay, so we should have two questions. Which is the smallest planet? And which is the hottest planet? Okay, ¿cuál es la planeta más pequeña? ¿Cuál es la planeta más caliente? Okay, which is the biggest planet? Which is the smallest planet? Which is the hottest planet? Make sure you have this copied correctly in your book. Okay, verificar que tienes esto bien apuntado en el libro. Okay, very good. So, that's all the work for today. Okay, and that's superlatives. Okay, easy. Yeah, superlatives. The hottest, the coldest, the biggest, the smallest, the closest, the furthest. Okay? Now, we will practice more in the next classes. Practicamos más en los próximos clases. Okay? So, if you have everything, we can finish. Si tienes todo hecho, podemos acabar. Okay? Very good work, everybody. Well done. And have a nice weekend. And I will see you next week. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.